So, I'm back. It's been a while, and oh my lord, this menu is very loud. So I guess I should explain where I've been for I don't know how many years, but it's been a very long time. To put it simply, I basically accidentally wiped my progress, I believe. Here we go. Oof. That sucks. I forget the exact story of what happened, but I remember that I had accidentally wiped my my gray goo project save. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. I accidentally wiped it, and I kind of I wasn't too thrilled about that, as you can imagine. So I haven't played Factorio in years. I haven't touched the Grey Goo project in years. I think I did play a little after the problems that I had, but let me see here. I'm not gonna include that on this run. Water fill, I think I do want. Is there a better water fill though? Let me see if I can get a water fill. Okay, well apparently this one does work, so I'm just gonna confirm those. Restart. Oops. I need that back. So, I gotta start a new game, I suppose. That sucks. Sandbox. I do not want to build in God mode. I like having a character, as useless as it is. I guess it'll be free play.
Turn on cheats, right? Also, I don't want any. To be perfectly honest, not for now. Water. I could just not have water. Let's go with no water. Let's go with no water on that one. Trees. Let's go no trees. Let's go no trees. Let's go no cliffs. Ore. I need lots of ore. I want all of the ore. I want so much ore. Lots and lots of ore. Okay, thanks. I might have to look up the command to make it creative mode. Alright, cool, man. Okay, it's like... It's tilde open this, and then it's like... Oh, shoot. That's not tilde. Slash... Slash H or L? Okay, slash H. Slash... Slash sheet. Okay, I will repeat it. It's not doing anything. Oh, never mind, it did. No, I need research done here, so I need to look up the command for that. I don't really know what the command for it. Let me look it up. Oh, slash C game.player.force research technology. That is a very complicated one. Does that mean I have all technologies now? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's pretty good.
Oh my god, I started this 3 years ago. That is crazy. Okay, let me just save this really quickly. We're gonna call this Grey Goo 2. Very creative name. Now let me load the logistics transfer. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is what I'm looking for right here. So let me just copy this. We might have to mess around with this a little bit to get it the way I want it. Import string. Boom. Look at that. Now we got it. Oh shoot. I should get myself some robots then, eh? How do I open my stupid inventory? There it is. E. Oh my god, I have so much more room. Okay, hold on. Let me go back over here. Let me get a million more of these. And a million more of these. And some more of those. Why not? Why not? Treat myself. Let me just put those back. Yeah. There we go. Also, look at this thing. Oh, I've not used this yet. They added this after I left Factorio. Oh man, this thing's really cool. Resource scanner? What the heck? I am 100% certain that didn't exist before. Do I even want to touch it? Do I even want to touch it? It might complicate things dramatically. So, the way this works is it has to be in line. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be in line, but it helps if it's in line. And it has to, the orange part has to be just above the inserters in the middle there. So let me just do that really quickly. There we go. Let's take out this resource scanner and see what it do. What it do? Just move that out of the way. Let me grab that resource scanner. Where was that? Right here. Okay. This is gonna be one of those complicated things, isn't it? Oh, wait, does it tell me just in the area I specify? Hold up. So if I make this like, let's say a 3 by like a 3 area. No, I want, how do I get this robot in here? Get out of here. Am I looking at just this area right here? Like, okay. Okay, hold on. So if I get this and I say, oh my god, I figured out how I got the row parts because I'm pressing the number 3. Okay, if I make this like a 10 by 10. Oh my god, this is actually incredible. Yeah, this is actually incredible because I'm gonna assume that it just outputs like how many coppers in there. Mm-hmm. That truly is incredible. I'm not gonna lie, because the previous version of the Grey Goo had so much logic that is literally solved by this. I'm not gonna lie, because what I'll do is I'll just make one of these resource scanners just scan the entire cell, and it'll just tell me whether or not I should put miners down, because I'll see the signal. So because the construction range is double the logistic range, do you see that? It's like the construction range ends around there. A little bit higher than that, but still. So it's enough that you can keep the roboports going. Like if I put one here, see, this got the 1 block gap that I need, but if I remove this and place a ghost, you can see it's still within the range, so I can still build it. And that's important and useful. But one issue that I have with this is I can't build the entire cell from this cell. And it would almost be better if I could build the entire cell from this cell. Like just, you know, just build it. And that makes me wonder if I should make the cells split like a real cell. I'm gonna put some thought into this, but this is what my instinct is to fix this, is to make this cell slap down another roboport where the transfer would eventually be, which is gonna be about there, when I'm expanding. So I'll have a 2 by 1 cell here, essentially. And that way I can share robots between all these guys as well. And then, when this cell has developed into its own cell, I can cut this off. I can just delete that one and build in the transfer. That could be a very good idea. I think I have screenshots from the previous version. Let me load up my my Discord real quick. I think I had some screenshots. Let me pull out my screenshot so you can see my previous design. So this is it, and it actually worked. You can see it working right now. Yeah, this is just the cheat cell. But these are the miner cells, and they are actually working and mining. It doesn't look like there's any ore. It's because I was using a mod that made the ore invisible. But they are actually doing... Yeah, you can see, because you can't place the miners if there's not ore. So you can see the areas that they've... Or, I guess there was never any ore there. But there's no miners there either. It's just, like, empty chests. Oh, and actually the other thing this new... resource scanner is going to help with. You see how there's like wires going all the way through this like absolute mess over here? It's because I had to detect each and every... I had to put a wire on each and every one of these miners to tell me whether or not there was actually ore there. And I remember there's a huge issue that I was overcoming where like let's say there was some miners along the edge here that had ore, but the ones in the middle didn't have ore, then the wires that connect across them wouldn't be connected, and so they wouldn't be able to signal across. And that's why there's like these poles in the middle. Oh my god, it was a nightmare. I'm actually really glad that this is a new thing. I'm 100% going to use it. It's already in the game. It's already a requirement because of recursive blueprints, so might as well take advantage. Now, I had 8 roboports, it seems. Yeah, I had 8 roboports. And I guess, and I think I remember why. I think it's because with just one roboport, I wasn't able to get the throughput I needed to, or like I literally could not have enough robots operating. Well, I would like to keep the cell sizes small, so maybe I'll try and just use less like this. I just don't know if it's necessary. I just don't know if I want them. I think reducing the number of advanced circuits I'm going to be using is kind of the name of the game. Like, I don't even want to use assembly machine 3s. 2s are acceptable because they only take basically raw materials. But yeah, I don't like, as much as I can avoid it, I really want to avoid using plastic and other oil products because oil is gonna be tough. I think the only way to do oil effectively is to use the coal and use the oil cracking, what is it, coal liquefaction, and that's not very efficient. And because I think that's my only source of oil, I think it's important for me to keep my oil costs low. Keep them as low as possible. Because I'll also be using a lot of oil to make batteries and solar panels. Okay, so the other, I think, mistake that I made in the previous version is that I didn't make the code, like I didn't make all the combinators, the code, before putting together the cell, which was useful to me to see how it would work, but I think that was a mistake because then I was trying to like code it while getting all the combinators into one like tiny area. I think that's a mistake. So I think this time around I have to code it first and then condense it afterward. So with that aside, we should get started, I suppose. Hello. Hello, Google. What's going on here? Oh, this is my, Oh, this is the logistics transfer. Look at this. Oh boy, I've got all kinds of nonsense here. So I'm gonna just make a new document. And I'm basically gonna write all the code for everything I can possibly think of. And then we're going to make that code a reality. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna call this coding the GGP. But I kind of don't exactly not want that. What I want is a half cell, in essence. So what I want is, so at the border here, this down here is going to be a fully fledged functioning cell. And at some point it's going to get enough resources that it's going to say, I want to expand now. And it's going to check up here to make sure there's no cell here already. Or that no one, it has to check in some way that there's no one intending to expand there either. And then it's going to, what I want it to do is place down another roboport, like right on the edge, right like that. And that way it expands its area. You see how it was able to fill in that area now? So what I wanted it to do is put down roboports in a chain so that I have full coverage over what this new cell area. Once I have full coverage of this new cell area, I suppose the very first thing that I need to do, the very first thing I need to do is indicate that I am now a cell here. So I need a colony cell. So let me quickly write this down over here. I'm gonna make, just gonna make a cell types list. So we're gonna call it like a colony cell, which is just gonna be super basic land claim, landfill, and roboport access. Because what I'm thinking is the best way to do this might be to have an indicator of sorts. So for example, let's just use steel chests. If in the center of my cell I just had a sort of map where each chest in this map indicates where there are other cells, for example. Let's get some iron chests too. What I could do is, for example, just remove the chests if there's nothing there. But if I'm going to expand into that area, I'll put an iron chest. And then let's say I'm this cell over here. I've got my own little thing. I'm like, there's a cell there, there's a cell there, there's a cell there. But there's no cells there. And just for mock-up's sake, this is my cell. Oops. These are my cells here, right? And this one is going to say, there's a cell there, a cell there, a cell there, a cell there. So this one's like deep in the woods over here, but that's beside the point. This one is like, hey, I'm going to expand over here, so I'm going to start putting my stuff over here. But the problem is that this cell, which is up here, doesn't know that there's someone expanding down there. So when he's going to make his check, he's going to say, what, there's only one cell that I know of, and it's over here. Because this guy's like out on his own. He's like, I only know of one guy, and it's over there. So what's stopping this guy from expanding down? And it's going to be very hard for me to communicate from here to there. Like, hey, how do I communicate all the way up there? Because there's nothing in here. And in fact, there could be water in here. Could be all kinds of stuff in here. I don't know what's in here. This is outside of my territory. And maybe I could try to send some kind of signals around through the cell network, but that's very complicated. And I wonder if there's a way for me to just detect. If I just detect right here, if I just said like, you know what, there is a way. There is a way. I've done it before. And it uses constant combinators. And the way is that when I put this down to expand into this area, instead of putting an iron chest here, what I need to do is put a combinator here, here, and here that all say, hey, there's a cell. There's a new cell coming in here. And that will let all of them know that it's done. And of course, if this one doesn't have anybody here, then it doesn't matter. If it just tries to place a constant combinator somewhere that it can't, then it doesn't matter. But if it can put it there, then I can just plunk it right into this guy's map. Now this guy has a map. So I'm gonna have to design some kind of map. Oh boy. So in designing this map, what I can do is I can literally communicate directly into the brain of the other cells and tell them that a cell is marked off. And now the advantage is, like, even I can place this blueprint wherever I want. I could place a blueprint way up here from down here, and I'll just put one here too. In fact, what I'll probably do is put these all on the same blueprint and just slap it right in the middle, and it'll put it down automatically. But I could put this blueprint right up here. If there's no cells here, then it won't matter. Now, it will never matter. Maybe the ghost will be there. Maybe it won't even be there because it'll be try to put it on water or something. But it doesn't matter. The important thing is that I'll just have to make sure I update the map when I do complete the cell in case that got waterlogged. The important thing is, however, that since I just placed the blueprint here, if this cell is in existence and operational and doing its thing, then it won't even know if it placed the blueprint or someone else did. So it's just gonna be like, oh, there's something to build, so let me just build that real quick. It's gonna build that real quick, and that's going to prevent it from expanding to the south. So yeah, that's going to be quite effective, I should think. But one thing I just need to be wary of is if I place one here, but at that exact spot there happens to be a little lake, then it's not going to let me place a ghost. It won't let me place a ghost. And so if this cell ever gets expanded to, they come through and landfill this, and they build their map like this, they might not realize that there's supposed to be one there that was placed a long time ago as a ghost, but it never got placed because it's now landfilled. So like, let's say I'm this cell here now. I can say, when I'm this cell here, I can say, oh, my map says that there's nothing here. So let me check, so let me build this way. But when I'm here, there's already a cell here. So what it needs to do is, in addition to this map, it needs to have a little loop with its neighbors, in essence. Not like this, but something like this. Some kind of circuitry between the neighbors that say like, hey, I'm here. I'm a real cell. And so this might check its local map and say, oh, there's nothing here. Or, oh, there's nothing here. Let me build this way. But then it's going to do that. So in some situations, it might not have this on this one, but it will have this. And so it'll think to itself, oh, I should expand up there. And when it tries to expand up there, this will say, whoa, no. I'm a cell. I'm here. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, my bad. Let me just update that real quick. Boom. Problem solved. And then once all four of these are connected, I'll have them connect together, something like this, probably with a big old X. And then once these four are connected together, I can just have a little combinator that just says, well, it'll probably be like, I don't know, substations or something. Once I have 4 of them, then I will say I am no longer done. I am now done expanding, or whatever. You know, that's how it'll kind of work. So once the local map is filled out, so to speak, once I've determine that there must be cells on all sides, then that's when my expansion protocol stops. That's when I set my stockpile to like what's needed only. I don't need to stockpile 1,000 inserters anymore because I'm not placing any more inserters. I am officially done with expansion. So, let me run through this code and do a little sanity check, if I will, if we can. So let me just run through this code. Let's pretend I am a cell. Let's pretend I am this cell. So this cell is gonna say, hey, let me slap down a local map controller on these 4 places. There's already one down there, nice. And let me build out this cell. And for the time being, I'm going to slap this down. So this is the expansion protocol. So first of all, no, we had no construction. First, okay, let me just get rid of all that stuff. Well, actually, we don't even have a stage yet, so we're not expanding at the moment. So let me just scroll down here. So the number of claimed is not 4, so forget that. We're gonna check a direction. We check this direction. There's no cell here. We checked both. The direction is now this direction, so we're now confirmed expanding that way. We're expanding. Mark those 4. We marked it with the map. The next time we do the loop, we are now expanding. So next time we come through this loop, we are now expanding. If there's no current construction, indeed, then landfill the staging area. So what I should have done here, my bad. I'm just gonna leave this here as a marker for you guys for the video. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come through here, and also let me put a little lake in here, and a little lake in here, and a little lake in here, just for good measure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna say landfill cliff explosive the staging area. Okay, so that's this little zone here, and then I'm gonna say build a new outer wall. Okay, let me build an outer wall in the first place. I'm just gonna use laser turrets because I'm lazy. So like we would have already had an outer wall here, so now we're gonna build a new one. It's gonna be built over here where we landfilled up to. Then we're gonna destroy the old outer. Oh, also let me quickly destroy the old outer wall. Okay, I can do that. Build staging equipment. Okay, we can do that. So let me just slap those down, and then it's gonna say landfill the second stage. Okay, we can do that. Build a new outer wall. Okay, we can do that. Oops, I wasn't supposed to do that actually. Whoops. We're supposed to just do it like that. Destroy the old outer wall. Okay, done. Build the permanent roboport. So that's the roboports that are gonna go in the middle. So I'll just put one in the middle. Landfill the final stage. So the final stage is gonna be here. Just gonna fill that in. Build a new outer wall. So this is gonna be the final outer wall. So this one is gonna go. It's gonna technically go on the inside. And actually, the other thing I need to do is make sure that once I have the center stage, once I have the central area, I should check this local map. Or I guess it's kind of tough to say. What I should be doing is continuing this outer wall thing all the way around the sides like this. I'm just gonna say ensure continuation down the sides within bound. I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna just copy that around the side. Yeah, sure. So what I mean by that is I need this cell because I don't know what the outside of it's gonna look like, and I want the outer wall on the outside of the cells because it's gonna make it easier, I think. So most of the cells are gonna have it on the outside of the walls. But I need this one to have it on the inside because I haven't exactly fully claimed this territory yet. So I'm gonna build the outer wall on the inside of the walls. The final stage is that I'm gonna build it here. Then we'll get rid of that. Then I'm gonna destroy the old outer wall. Now stage 11, what I want stage 11 to do is check local map. So let me get some kind of clock going here. Blip, so that's kind of the clock. Now, the problem is, obviously, these are going to count up forever, and to make matters worse, this is, like, going to be pretty laggy if you have, like, a lot of these things. I'm pretty sure it gets pretty laggy. Could be wrong, but I don't know how many of these things the game can take before it starts getting really laggy. Well, I guess it's not an infinite number. So, what I'd like to see is that I only need one of these things in the starter cell, and I'm just going to transmit this little blip signal all throughout the whole system. Now, one other cell I think I might need. Let me just, I don't know, one here. Is the starter cell, which is going to be as follows. It's gonna have, yeah, so I want a starter cell. Basically, my idea for this, like, I know it's not possible to just start this on a blank world like this. It's literally not possible. But I think the way you mark cliffs for explosives is with a deconstruction planner, right? So what I wanted to do is, the way I want it to be set up is I want it to simply deconstruct everything. I want you to play through the game in vanilla, and once you've unlocked everything and you no longer like your base, I want you to place down the starter cell, download the recursive blueprints mod, and then place down the starter cell, and I want it to not only expand, but I want it to cannibalize your factory. I want it to deconstruct and cannibalize your factory, and then use those resources to kickstart itself into expansion. And once it gets a couple of ore pockets, then it should be good to go. Then it should just start expanding like mad. And one interesting idea as well is maybe I could make an interface. That could actually kind of be fun, because that way you could have your base and you could just surround it with these interface cells. And then earlier we were talking about how we use the local map. You just have the interface have like a circuit across the cell border, and any cells that are here would never expand this way, because it would be tricked basically. Like, oh, there's already a cell there. I don't need to expand that way. But of course there isn't actually a cell here, it's just your base. But that way it wouldn't just deconstruct everything in the whole world. Maybe you could try to control it a little bit with an interface cell. You control it by just by not permitting it to expand in certain directions in certain areas. Make islands essentially in the sea of gray goo. Oh well, I think we're doing good. I think we got a good start today. Hopefully there will be no more computer errors in the future. It's been about 3 years since I've had any critical computer errors, but of course the last time I did was the last time I was doing this, so maybe this project is cursed. But I'm gonna try and stream at twitch.tv/Dorloric every Thursday at around 5 or 6 o'clock Eastern time. I'm hoping that setting a specific time and just sitting down and just doing some work on it is just gonna help me get back into the flow of things and actually get it done. So yeah, we haven't got that much done today, but we did do a lot of planning. We did a lot of planning. We did a lot of recouping our losses, so to speak. So, I guess thanks for watching the video. Thanks for tuning in to stream if you're here. And I'll see you guys next Thursday.